Time to do some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah.
Greetings, everyone. We are live from last week.
Hey, don't know how we did it, but we did it.
Good evening.
Yeah, hello, everybody. Oh, so what's been going on, guys? I'm recovering from chasing the convention.
Just working as usual. No,
Yeah,
Carl,
Carl,
it's not a rerun.
It is a rerun. Yeah, it is, Carl. It's a rerun.
Let's see. I did a lot of gardening today. Got all my seedlings out of the greenhouse, and they're either in cups or pots or getting ready to go in the ground.
Nice.
Mowed the grass. Did some weeding. Went to the store, bought more 5-gallon buckets. So I have an abundance of squash and okra. So.
Oh, well.
I did. I tested out my new electric tiller. And lowered part of my yard about 7 inches. Cut a hill down.
Is this why we're wrapping our hand right now?
No, I'm just bored.
Working
the
on a
weird-
mummy costume for HallowCon.
Yeah.
He's just
But
trying it on.
the weird thing is, I hit a tree root. Cut the tree root, cut it in half. Now I've got a big puddle of water where the tree root comes up.
Are we sure that was a tree root?
Yeah, it was a tree root.
Okay.
Apparently, it wasn't just a tree root. So,
Well, there's no pipelines back through there.
That you know of.
But yeah,
Just-
it was. Now there is a natural spring back through there,
Okay, that
That would make sense.
makes sense.
and well, it's a wet weather spring.
Well, it's been wet weather.
Yeah.
That's like with the job site I'm on. There was supposed to be no utilities running underneath the road. So far, we found a NIPSCO line, which the excavator pulled out, an AT&T fiber line that the excavator pulled out, a manhole cover that was underneath the asphalt but in the concrete, and then another manhole cover to an ancient, might as well call it tomb, because nobody knew it existed, including the East Chicago Water Department. Underneath not just the concrete, but a couple inches of stone.
It'd been there a while.
That one might have been walled up for a reason. Just go ahead and bury it back.
They opened it up, it still has water and stuff in it. And it's got a flow coming from somewhere.
Oh, it reminds me when I got in trouble. We hit a drain line. It was a storm drain, so they dropped the dye down in it.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up putting gallons of dye down in it.
Oh no.
We're near the Tennessee River. It never came out in the Tennessee River. Don't know where it came out. Didn't come out at the sewage treatment plant. So, me being my usual smart-ass self, we have what's called Coolidge Park. It's a park to honor a Medal of Honor recipient. And it's got a fancy carousel and, a little water fountain for kids to play in.
Mm-hmm.
Big supervisor boss was walking by, and I couldn't help myself. It was the middle of the summer too. He comes walking by, and I roll my window down, and I said, "They're talking on the radio right now about the colored water at Coolidge Park right now."
Oh, how much trouble did you get in?
It was the look of fear and panic until he remembered that's a closed system. He goes, "You're just being an asshole, Joe. Go away."
I wonder what clue was dropped on his head.
So, my end of the project, we've only come across a gas pipeline, but it's 23 feet down. My buddy Tony, who was watching over the other ramp, is the one who's had the NIPSCO pulled out, the AT&T fiber pulled out, and everything else. Apparently, it created one nice big boom when that NIPSCO line got pulled, and then NIPSCO got there and they opened up the transformers on the ground, and it was just spewing out oil.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's an
Oh.
expensive mishap.
Yeah.
For somebody other than the contractor, because they did call in locates. There's little flags running up and down every, down up and down both sides. No one ever marked that there was anything running across the road.
Yes.
So contractor is free and clear on that one.
Oh, I'll tell you, when you bust one of those transformers, it's not just cleaning up oil; it's hazmat involved.
Well, and to make things even better, and this was a young operator. First, this was the first utility he's ever hit while in the excavator. He pulled that so hard it started to pull the wire from the pole because it was aerial to underground. Yeah, it pulled it off the pole even. And that pole was probably a good 50, 100 feet away.
Good hard hit. Hook and pull.
Please tell me the young man did not get in trouble.
He did not get in trouble. We're still trying to find out if he was wearing his brown pants because of the explosion. Almost got Richie.
Did he offer to go after the one that was 23 feet down? I'm going, hey, I'm running 2 for 2 right now. Let's make it 3 for 3.
Oh no, he also unearthed the other two the two things for East Chicago's water department, the 2 sewer systems. I told my coworker, I said, you can keep yourself and your crew down on that end of the bridge. I want you nowhere near this. I do want to find out that the pipe is actually at 23 inches instead of 23 feet, or 2.3, or at 2.3 inches running through the concrete. So,
good. Record keeping is not their strong suit, is it?
Well, no, we did. Well, I shouldn't say we didn't hit the gas pipe. We haven't hit it yet. We've only gone down 12 inches. So there's still 11 inches that it could be in. Hopefully they are correct and it's at 23 feet.
Richie, get out of my mind. you get scared.
Well, that's almost as bad
I think
as
we lost Rich.
when we thankfully the city wasn't doing it. It was private contractor.
And apparently someone let the dogs out.
They were rebuilding the Macaulay Avenue Bridge and hit a 48-inch water main.
That's a big water main.
Anyone need water?
I'll
I'm
never
kidding.
forget. I was coming out. We have some tunnels. John knows where I'm talking about. There's some tunnels coming out. And as I come out the tunnels, I see this mushroom cloud form. I thought, that's weird. Guy riding with me goes, what is that? I said, I don't know. Realize the tunnel is 2 miles away.
And you could still see the cloud.
Oh.
No, that was the water.
Yeah, I kind of figured it was the water, but it was 2 miles away and you could still see it.
Yeah.
Oh.
It took, and the thing was, we have a historic baseball stadium just down from that, and they were having some film company was there looking to film a movie as 4 feet of water comes rushing across the field.
Free special effects.
They weren't looking to film Waterworld, were they? Because that would have been the perfect time.
Aren't they making a sequel to that at some point? No, I'm kidding. I don't think so. If they were going to make a sequel, they should have done it 25 years ago when the first one came out. But it got panned by everybody. It developed a cult following, though. But
Windworld, Fireworld.
Hey,
I
Joe,
have seen it. I can understand why a sequel was never done.
you got well, there was a movie called Dragon World that came out from a different studio. I remember watching that as a kid. It's about this little boy who finds a baby dragon like hiding in his countryside of this, in Scotland, and on the Highlands or something. And he brings it home, and everyone's like, "What is this? Is this a creature or something?" And the nanny, not the nanny, the grandmother says, "But it's a dragon." So, yeah, it is. So he raises the dragon. They become best friends, BFFs. Basically, it's like the story of a boy and his dog, right? And then this film crew.
Not the Harlan Ellison story, A Boy and His Dog, please.
No. I wasn't referring to that. I'm just saying, like, the formula of this movie is like a boy.
Okay.
Like it's a boy and his dog, like a man's best friend kind of thing. So anyway, the dragon grows up. The kid grows up to be like, I don't know, 30 something. And this film crew comes in filming where his home is, and they discover the dragon because the dragon's like 1 million feet long now. And they're like, what is this, a joke or is this real? And the guy says, no, it's real. So then they convince him to open up a theme park called Dragon World, and they get this corporate executive to fly down, played by this veteran actor. I can't remember the gentleman's name. I apologize. His name's not coming to me. If anyone wants to Google this in the backstage area, # someone do it. That would be great. But they open up the theme park. Obviously, they realize, hey, corporate greed is not the way to go. You shouldn't be like keeping this thing as a prisoner and keeping it in captivity. The dragon needs to spread its wings and fly away, So they free the dragon at the end of the movie, and everyone lives happily ever after, right? Kind of. So if anyone has any idea what I'm talking about, feel free to Google it. It's probably posted on YouTube, the full-length movie. Someone probably ripped it and put it on YouTube by now. I don't know. Honestly, it's amazing me how many free movies you can watch on YouTube these days. Some of the biggest name films are on YouTube for free with ads, and it's amazing.
Dragon World, 1994.
Yes. There you go.
Had starring Cortland Mead as young Johnny McGowan.
Mm-hmm.
And let me see.
Damn, you were in diapers back then, weren't you, Ryan?
Well, I was at the 94. Hold on a second. I was 7. So I wasn't wearing diapers at that point, but I was a youngin.
I won't pick on you anymore tonight.
It's okay. It's fine. But just to give you the positive side of this.
That was just one of those lines
that
someone should never have said in front of me.
I know, right?
Ryan?
Yes.
There's a sequel to it.
There is. There's a Dragon World Part 2?
Dragon World, the legend continues.
Oh, that's even better. I gotta see this. I'm gonna have to stream this somewhere. I'm gonna have to see if this is on a streaming service, or maybe just watch it on YouTube like every other movie.
It came out 5 years later in '99.
Really?
Drake Bell stars as Johnny.
Oh, Drake Bell! Oh my God, from the TV series Drake and Josh from Nickelodeon. Oh my gosh. Woo. That's one for the books. By the way, Dawn Dula says, "Boo!" Yeah, good to see you too, Dawn. By the way, life update for you fellas. Because we've all been through this, right? We've all been this little thing called unemployment, right? Unemployment sucks.
Yes, it does.
To be perfectly blunt, but in recent events have happened, and those are that starting next week, I will be working at the minor league ballpark in Greensboro, North Carolina. Nice. For the Greensboro Grasshoppers, and I'm excited. I'm looking forward to learning new things and learning some new skills and bringing my experience with electronic media and film to the ballpark, because at one point, I think they're still trying to figure out what exactly my position is going to be. But it sounds like I'm going to be rotating out between being what is known as a cash manager, if anyone knows what that is. And then the other one is I'm going to be up in the press box running graphics, in the press box with the camera game day production crew, if you know what I mean. So get excited, folks, because if you're in the Greensboro area of North Carolina, come on down to First National Bank Field and join us for a wonderful game of baseball featuring the Greensboro Grasshoppers. So there you go.
I thought the Greensboro was the Braves.
No, it's actually the Grasshoppers where we are.
Who's your major league affiliate?
The Pittsburgh Pirates.
Pirates, okay. Yes, that is our major league affiliate. Let me ask you this. Do y'all play the Savannah Bananas?
I have the schedule here on my on my kitchen counter, which I'm not sitting at right now. I'm sitting in my podcast studio, but I have the schedule pulled up here on my laptop. So let me find that out for you because that's a great question. That's a
I am making a road trip to see the Savannah Bananas.
okay. Well, let me see if they're playing them. Give me 1 second. Let me see.
It looks like Dragon World and its sequel are both on Amazon Prime and Tubi.
Oh, Tubi. There you go. Right there. That answers the question. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Do you have to pay on Amazon Prime?
I believe you do. Don't
It's
you?
Amazon. What do you think?
So, yeah, you do have to pay, but on
Well,
Tubi it's free.
If you have Amazon Prime, it's free. If you don't have
right.
Amazon Prime, you've got to purchase Amazon Prime.
Exactly. Thank you.
So it's not one of the Amazon Prime subscription. It's Amazon Prime Watch Now free.
Okay.
Apparently, it's also on Sling TV.
Oh,
yeah,
even better.
Amazon's
And the Roku
real bad
channel.
about having, some good classic movies, but you got to pay to watch them.
Fortunately, yeah. You need to put up your mic. Oh, Donna Carly Colleen says, Joe Dog, you need to reset your mic because we can barely hear you.
Yeah, we had that trouble in the green room, so or backstage. Excuse
All
me.
right, can you hear me now?
Well, yeah, we can, but
it's the audience that can't hear you. By the way, to answer your question there, what was it, Joe McKeel? We are not playing the Savannah Bananas. We are playing Bowling Green and Asheville. We're actually playing the Aberdeen Ironbirds, which is my Maryland team. So,
you're in trouble.
I know, because they're playing my Maryland team. So I guess, do I cheer for them when they're playing? I don't know.
you cheer for both sides. It's like me with the
Really?
University of Georgia versus University of Tennessee game. I root for both sides. No matter who wins, I'm happy. It's going to be a good game. It's one of those college rivalry things, and it's about the only football game I care about all year, except for my high school homecoming game.
Well, I can't be there for all the games that week because I have a convention I have to travel back up to Maryland for, aka a prior commitment, which I will inform my superiors long before that happens, so they are able to plan everything around that. But I will be there for the first Aberdeen game on Tuesday, July 4th, aka Independence Day. So I'll be there for the Stars and Stripes Spectacular against the Aberdeen Ironbirds. So that's going to be fun. So there you go, guys. I got a new job. It's not, hey, it's not going to be my future. It's not going to be the job that's going to, secure me certain things that I need to live a long and prosperous life. But hey, it's an entry. It's something, and it's a door that can lead to many other doors. So you never know.
Look at John Madden.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you think he planned on being a football announcer?
Probably not. No.
As long as and then video game aficionado.
Oh, that's right. No, but I'm excited about this because I finally get to put. I mean, I've been putting my electronic media and film degree that I got in college to good use anyway, but now I get to spread my wings even more and see how it works in a minor league baseball park because I've never had a job like that before. So this is all new for me, but at the same time, it's quite exciting. And by the way, Carl Witzman says, "Good news, Ryan." Thank you, Carl. Appreciate it. Looking forward to starting next week when they have a homestead. They start on Tuesday. So that'll be exciting. So if anyone's ever in the Greensboro, North Carolina area, come on down and see us at First National Bank Field. We got some great seats, great events, and hey, feel free to say hi to me if I'm walking around the lower concourse there. So depending on what one of my other jobs is. So there you go. You're welcome, Dan. I just brought a ray of sunshine to this already sunshiny show.
We've been, I don't know exactly how to explain it, but
yeah, we've been off the rails before I got here.
There's been a typo involved tonight, so we're broadcasting from a week ago. So.
Oh really? Wow! So that's why nobody's watching, or that's why only 2 people are watching us instead of the usual 2.5. No, I'm kidding.
Well,
we got a full.
I'm kidding. I know we have 4 or 5 people in the room, or in the in the chat. By the way, good to see Carl. Good to see Donna. Good to see who was the other one that chimed in earlier? Dawn. Great to see you.
Yes.
Speaking of Dawn, I finished reading Ahsoka, written by E.K. Johnston this week. I'm going to have the writer of that book sign it when I go to meet her at AwesomeCon in our nation's capital of DC next month. Star Wars wise, I mean, I got some autographs from the voice actor who was Obi-Wan Kenobi on Star Wars Rebels by the name of Steven Stanton. And then I also got some autographs from another source from Famous Faces and Funnies in West Melbourne, Florida. They had Spencer Wilding, who was in the suit and played Darth Vader in Rogue One, a Star Wars story. For those of you,
I think did you post that on your site? I think I saw that.
I did, yeah. He had a signing at the store, but if you wanted to purchase something, since clearly I don't live in Florida, since I was outside of Florida, I said, hey, is it possible I can still purchase one of his 8x10s and so on and so forth? And they said, yeah, just we'll send you a picture of what he has on his booth, and then let us know which one you want, and then we'll get the situation going. And I said, cool. And not only that, he signed a Darth Vader Funko Pop for me. So I know I'm getting all kinds of Star Warsiness, more stuff in my home, Dawn. Isn't it wonderful?
Ryan, I'm really going to make you mad. Spencer Wilding did a HallowCon plug for us.
He did?
Yes.
When was this? Did he do it recently? Was it yesterday?
Sunday.
Sunday. Really? Is he gonna? He's gonna be there? Is he gonna be at HallowCon? Is that true?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Dude,
it is on our it's on our Instagram.
Instagram.
No,
Is it Instagram
Joe Dog.
It's Joe Dog.
It's Joe Dog. It's an Instagram.
Oh, it's okay. Am I following you on Instagram? I think I am. Anyway, I'll look up the. By the way, Joe Dog, thank you for sharing that with us. I will look that up. After I get off of this. But yeah, so I got some autographs coming in that are from Star Wars veterans, so that makes me happy, right? I mean, Star Wars is always a good thing to discuss once in a while. I don't know. I think I'm going to start reading the book Thrawn tomorrow by Timothy Zahn. See how that goes. Yeah. Not Heir of the Empire one, but the one that came out like in 2017. Thrawn.
I think there are 3 of them.
Yeah, there's like 3 trilogies featuring Thrawn. Yeah.
Okay. So he's actually done a bit more work on that than I realized.
Yeah, this is the one I'm referring to, Dan. See this one? This is the one I'm referring to.
I'm familiar.
Oh, okay. Just letting you know, this is the book I'm going to probably start reading tomorrow, everybody. So reading is fun. Life is better when you're reading a book.
I mean, I am a writer. I do tend to hang out with my peers at LibertyCon and HallowCon and whatnot. But yeah.
Ryan,
yes.
Link is in the private chat.
Oh, I see it now. Thank you, kind sir. Appreciate it. 2 thumbs up. Yeah. So yeah, things are picking up for me down here in Greensboro, which is lovely. It's good. It's positive. It really is, and it's good to see everybody here too. Obviously, because you got the Dans, you got the Johns, you got the Joe Dogs, you got Joe. Apparently, is in AI or virtual reality because we can only see his face and not his body. Apparently, he's somewhere in the ether. And then Rich is trying to keep himself from not laughing so hard at everyone's very unfunny jokes. So I commend you, Rich, for holding in that laughter.
I'll tell you, Rich.
No, I've got a couple of different projects going on.
Oh, so you're multitasking. No wonder you're not paying attention to me right now. Okay, cool.
Rich,
I am paying attention, believe it or not.
Okay, you're multitasking. Hey, at least one of us can do that because I have a hard enough trouble focusing on one thing at a time. That's why I focus on one thing at a time. But,
I work in IT and training. It is my job to be able to multitask.
Giddy up. You know what? More respect to you, Rich. More respect. Honestly, because I can't.
I've got to fix people's crap while trying to help them learn how to use the systems and then help my manager fix her crap because she's got no idea how to use technology.
Really? So Zahn is a good writer. He doesn't care for him so much as a person. I can't speak to that, Carl, because I never met Timothy before, but his books are good. Well, this is just one of many Timothy Zahn books that are sitting on my shelf. I got this and I got the Heir to the Empire trilogy, so you're welcome.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, Carl pretty much nailed it.
Okay. I mean, I've never met him in person, so I can't say anything about that.
I've met Timothy Zahn twice.
Yeah.
Once at an early LibertyCon, and he was actually pretty cool. Can't remember if it was before he did the Star Trek books or right after he did the Star Trek books. But he was both the times I met him, he was pretty cool. So it's kind of funny. He had just brought out a book called Triplet, which is a pretty good sci-fi novel, and he brought in a case of books for everybody. If you bought a book, he'd autograph it for you. But what was funny was the books. The books were supposed to come out in August of that year. Of course, LibertyCon is in July. So he brought the books in, and the first edition date on it was for 1 month after the convention. we already had the books and autographed for July. So I've got his book 1 month before the publication.
Before it came out.
Yeah. Yes. Which was cool. I mean,
Yeah.
You know, there's some authors, you meet them at a sci-fi convention and they just really, you know, hey, let me help you out with that. You know,
Oh my gosh, what was it? Donna Carly Zahn is an Illinois native, but he denies it. So we Illinoisans aren't too fun. Really? He denies where he's originally from? That's weird. I don't know why he would do that. I mean, I'm from Maryland, but I don't mind saying, hey, I'm a Marylander, you know, because it's in my blood, even though I live in North Carolina now. That's not a bad thing, you know. I don't know.
Neither are. Actually.
That's kind of weird that he doesn't acknowledge his roots. That's weird.
now I gotta go look at this because I cannot remember which Liberty Con this was.
I know, seriously. By the way, Joe Dog McKeel, I saw your clip there in the private chat.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I will say that is pretty cool that you were able to get that. That is really good stuff. So it probably means I really need to get myself up to what is it, Dalton, Georgia? I need to get myself out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Ron, I'll tell you this. The shout out was his idea.
Wow. Such a kind gentleman. I mean, they did a quick interview with him on this Facebook page that I was the Famous Faces and Funnies, where he was doing the signing earlier today in West Melbourne, Florida. They did a video with him saying, hey guys, for those of you who are outside of the state of Florida, if you guys want to purchase a photo, let us know. Because they were doing a Facebook Live. And he was great. I mean, he was telling some good stories. He was being goofy and silly. I mean, he just seems like a really, you know, nice, funny, approachable guy.
Yeah.
So
when he was doing that, somebody commented where I shared it over to HallowCon.
Sure.
Why is he looking so angry? I said he's Welsh. He's always angry.
Liberty Con 1.
Yeah.
Back in 1987.
That's when Ryan was born, Dan. That's when Ryan was born.
Whoa. Good.
You know, it's kind of funny. I remember going to the convention and stuff like that. I just don't remember it being Liberty Con 1. You know, it's.
I mean, yeah, that's an artifact right there.
No kidding. Of course, I've got the Dragon Con 1 T-shirt.
Do you? You have the very first Dragon Con?
I went to the very first Dragon Con, which was right around that same time, 86, 87. And
no problem.
It was silkscreen and airbrush, the T-shirt. Of course, nobody does that anymore.
Well,
but,
no.
And it's just every so often somebody, this Dragon Con, that Dragon Con. I'm like, you mean I pull out that T-shirt and everybody's like,
hello, family member. Good to see you. Oh, by the way, I did a Google thing there for you, John. Yeah, I did a Google thing here, and apparently, according to our good friends at #NotSponsored Google, it says that from where I am in Greensboro all the way to a place called Dalton, Georgia, that's a 6-hour and 11-minute drive.
Yeah, there's no direct interstate access. You got to.
That's a long. I mean, that's 15 minutes longer than it takes for me to get from here to Towson, Maryland, where I originally am from.
Oh, yeah, getting from Chattanooga to Myrtle Beach is a pain in the ass. You can't. It's one of those jokes about you can't get there from here.
Yeah.
It says I got to take I-40 west to get to Dalton, Georgia, or US 74 west.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I-40 puts you up by Knoxville.
That's longer than what Carl and Brian drive.
Really?
Yeah.
I got a 6+ hour drive ahead of me if I'm going to make it to HallowCon.
Tennessee is a long state.
Jeez.
Well, it's not very wide. They're shortcutting through Nashville.
Yeah.
Nashville to Chattanooga. They're taking the skinny route.
Hey Ryan. Yeah. You know, to make it even worse. Tennessee used to be part of North Carolina. North Carolina used to go all the way to the Mississippi River.
Did, yeah.
And then they cut it up and made Tennessee.
I got to go through, what is it, Tennessee, Asheville? Oh my gosh. Whew. Man, there's a lot of driving ahead of me. I will do my best to make it to HallowCon, but 6+ hours. Woo! I'm gonna have to stop at a Waffle House like every 2 hours.
Do you have a Costco card?
Or my family does, yeah.
Oh. Costco is great for road trips. because A, the gasoline is cheap, and B, you run inside, grab a hot dog and a Coke. That's
well, if I can't find the other place, I can always go to Costco. But yeah, but HallowCon sounds like fun, but 6+ hours. God.
Yeah, that's all right. That's it. That's at the posted speed limit.
Well,
Which, if you drive the posted speed limit in Tennessee, people are going to run over the top of your car.
so that means I need to go faster than the speed limit?
A whole lot.
Okay. Well, if that's
there is no interstate. It is all 2-lane and red lights.
Oh, is that what it is? Jeez. Okay.
I'm trying to figure out.
So let me see.
I'll remember that when I'm doing this.
Get on 40 and get
Yeah.
to Knoxville, and then
what?
What is it? 75 to Chattanooga.
75. So set of 75 takes you all the way to Dalton.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking at would probably be better to come through Charlotte, through Greenville to Atlanta and up.
Ooh, no, I wouldn't recommend anybody.
Plague. Okay.
I actually rather than going through Atlanta, I will take 2-lane roads with stoplights every 5 feet.
What's that highway just north of, like, goes above 285? It's the highway they always tell you to take when you're heading back to Chattanooga from the UGA games. I'll have to look it up on Google.
If I get myself out to HallowCon, I'm gonna DM one of you and just be like, "Hey, what's the best route to get there?" Like, just give me the best directions.
It's either 575 or what was the other one? 53, and and 575 is an actual highway.
Oh, really?
120.
Is it the 120?
Oh, yeah.
Because 120 goes up above 285 loop and takes you straight into Marietta, which puts you on 75 right there.
Yep.
Well, when it gets closer and I'm able to, like, if I can make the schedule work and whatever, because, my job's probably going to, when the season's over, the minor league baseball season, mind you, their last game is in the first week of September, and that's a road trip. I'm not even going to be at the stadium that week. So I'm going to have to figure out something like what my next JOB is going to be. But then again, like I said, this door is going to open other doors. And then I got 1 or 2 other leads out there that could pan out. So you never know. But once I figure out the schedule, then I could be like, hey, I need to spare this weekend in October so I can drive all the way off to some place called Dalton, Georgia that I never heard of. Because I've been to Georgia, but I've never been to Dalton, Georgia. I've only been to, what is it called? Atlanta or Alpharetta? I've been there, but I've never been to Dalton.
Dalton's a little bit farther north. That's all.
Well, there you go. That helps.
Take your best route to Chattanooga and then head south.
Head south.
On 75, and you go right through Dalton, right past the hotel.
Is that okay? When it gets closer to the event, I'm going to DM you so you can, like, remind me of that so I know what to do.
Yeah, well, I can't navigate you all the way from.
No, but
is it North Carolina?
I mean, that's where I am.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Yeah, I'm in North Carolina. I'm in Greensboro. Yeah, I'm in Greensboro, John.
Oh, yeah, you definitely want to take 40 to Knoxville.
Yep, 40 to Knoxville, get on 75, go to Chattanooga, and stay on 75 when it goes south.
Just stay on 75. Got it.
Yep.
Well, let's see. Carl just said that, they got over an 8-hour drive, but they're still going to do it. And then Carl says we stop somewhere near Nashville and we stay overnight. Okay. That's fair. I mean, when my parents travel and they're going to in their case, they go to a lovely place called Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I don't know if anyone's ever been there. I love it there. It's very nice.
I've heard of it, but I've never been.
Okay, well, they travel halfway and then they stay someplace overnight and then they do the second leg, the next day, and then they get to South Carolina. That's how they do it. So, Carl, I know plenty of people who take either long trips or whatever it is, but they stop like halfway through and they stay overnight somewhere and then they pick up fresh in the morning and keep going. So, which is a smart thing to do, by the way.
Yep.
I think it's a very smart thing to do.
Okay. Ryan, while I got you here,
Oh, I'm still here. Yeah.
Beetlejuice 2.
Yeah, I heard.
Okay.
I heard they're making it. Is it true about the casting of Jenny?
Well, what I'm seeing right now, you see, Winona Ryder as Lydia Dietz.
She's coming back. Yeah.
Let me see here.
I heard they cast Jenny Ortega, who plays Wednesday on the hit series Wednesday on Netflix, to play her daughter.
No, that would be cool. I have not heard that one yet.
Yeah, I heard they cast her to play Lydia Dietz's own daughter, and I'm like, well, it has been 30 plus years, so Lydia, I guess, found someone that was into her gothic nature, and they had a shigamabob one night, and they had a kid.
The article I'm reading doesn't say anything about it, but they are, of course, getting Michael Keaton's making a comeback as Beetlejuice.
Well, he has to. Yeah. I mean, it's not the same without Keaton, don't you think?
True, but I could think of a couple of actors that would do a damn good job on it.
Really?
Jim Carrey.
What about Willem Dafoe?
A little old, but
He could probably do it. Yeah, he's old, but he could still do it. Who's another actor that could fit that role?
Let's see.
Who's the guy who played Pennywise in the remake of It? Bill Skarsgård, I think his name is.
Skarsgård, yeah, it's Skarsgård.
He could probably do it.
Jim Carrey. Absolutely.
Who?
Jim Carrey.
The Jim Carrey? Wow.
Yeah.
He's old too.
He's almost as old as Defoe, isn't he?
Oh,
Yeah, they're contemporary. Yeah.
He's about the same. He's a little younger than Keaton.
By the way, Carl says, who is playing Gina Davis's part? Or are those characters just not going to be involved?
I don't think they're going to be in there.
I would love nothing.
They'll probably show up as Ghost.
Gina Davis is a national treasure, but she's very picky about what roles that she takes on. And the other thing is, Alec Baldwin is kind of sort of in Hollywood jail. So I don't know if they can get him back.
They dropped him in purgatory. So.
Yeah, they put him somewhere, but I don't think he's going to get any more jobs in Hollywood, is he? I don't know, because that whole thing that happened.
They'll probably pull a Ghostbusters and bring the parent or Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin back as Ghost CGI.
Yeah, CGI. Yeah, they could do that. That's true. And Gina has nothing left to prove. She has nothing left to prove. But if she were to come back, I think that would be really funny, because that was one of the first things I ever saw her in. I mean, granted, really the first thing I think I actually saw Gina Davis in was A League of Her Own as Dottie Hinson, the Queen of Diamonds, which is one of the greatest sports films ever made, if not the best one of all time. But she did that. She did, what was it, Beetlejuice. She was in The Long Kiss Goodnight. She was in a movie before, Thelma and Louise. I mean, she is co-starred.
She sort of won an Oscar for that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and the crazy thing, she's either co-starred or she has starred in some of the biggest, like, most famous movies of all time, including the remake of The Fly with Jeff Goldblum.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, Thelma and Louise changed what she stars in and what she does.
It's pretty good.
She's done the artsy fartsy, not the fun movies. Thelma and Louise.
Darn it! I can't remember the actor's name. I just had a brain lock.
Who, the other one?
Plays what's Chris Pratt?
Oh, Chris Pratt. Yeah.
I think he'd make an excellent Beetlejuice.
Yeah. I'm not a big.
You don't think he's zany enough?
I don't think. Yeah. I'm not a big Chris Pratt fan. I think nothing to get. Listen, Chris, I know you don't watch our show, but Chris plays the same character in every movie he's ever been in.
Yeah. Wow.
And the other problem I have with him is that he doesn't. And he's capable of doing this because he showed shades of it in a little film that nobody saw called Passengers with Jennifer Lawrence. He can be dramatic, but he needs the right role to do it. And Chris really hasn't found that yet. I mean, you could say that he attempted to do it in the Jurassic World sequels that nobody asked for and nobody wanted, but they made him anyway. But those movies sucked. Okay, Jurassic World is one of the dumbest movies ever made. And Chris Pratt, that film didn't do him or Bryce Dallas Howard, for that matter, any favors. But Chris has dramatic potential, but he needs to find the right role and the right director, because I kind of take that back, because Chris Pratt did do well dramatically in the Magnificent Seven remake with Denzel.
Mm-hmm.
even though he still had shades of his comedic chops being thrown in there because he's Chris Pratt.
Right.
But he can play dramatic. He just hasn't really gotten that chance.
You don't
to go
think he'd be a
full
good
on
Beetlejuice?
No, he could. I mean, he could probably do Beetlejuice, but he's going to do it the Chris Pratt way, and I don't want him to do it the Chris Pratt way because I just don't like his formula. To me, is just stupid.
What about Ryan Reynolds?
Well, I've never,
bring a little Deadpool into it.
I don't like Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds is one of the most overrated, most overpromoted actors in the history of Hollywood because the three things he's done well in his life. One, he did the indie film called Buried, which is good. Two, he did a dramatic comedy called Definitely Maybe with Abigail Breslin as his daughter. Very good movie. If you haven't seen it, look it up. And then the third film he did dramatically very well. There was a third one. I'm trying to think of what it was. It was Buried. It was something else. I can't remember it. But Ryan has only done like 2 or 3 dramatic things in his life that makes sense. Everything else is basically Ryan Reynolds playing himself.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I don't like that.
Think he'd be a good Beetlejuice?
No. I would take Chris Pratt over Ryan Reynolds any day.
For
Beetlejuice anyway. For Beetlejuice.
I would have to say I have yet to see Ryan Reynolds in something that did not entertain me.
By the way, Carl says that Gina Davis is at the current age of 67. I'm not sure if she would be interested in being in the second film. Well, if she's in it, she's in it. If she's not, she has nothing left to prove because Gina has done so many wonderful things in her career. She has nothing to prove.
Okay. I've got this one comedian in mind, but I don't like most of his work. Okay.
Who's this guy?
Will Ferrell.
Oh, God, if he's in it, I won't give it a dime.
I think he
absolutely. Now look, I like Ryan Reynolds. I like Chris Pratt. I do agree that their performances are not for everybody.
No, they're not.
You put Will Ferrell in a movie, and I will never see a single scene of it.
I think he'd do a good Beetlejuice, just because he's got that zany kind of comedy.
He does. I'm not a big Will Ferrell fan, but he could pull it off.
Big time.
He's got the hair. He's got the fizzy hair that he can just like put the wig in for, like, because obviously Michael Keaton was wearing a wig in the film, so he has the look. Even though I'm not the biggest Will Ferrell fan, because very very little of his stuff that I actually enjoy, but he could do it. I wouldn't sign him on, but he could do it. I mean, if I were directing this, obviously I want Michael Keaton 1,000%. But if I can't get Michael, there are other actors who could do it. I just would have to sit down and actually think for a minute about who could pull it off.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't like 90% of Will Ferrell stuff myself.
Yeah, no.
Except the one movie.
Which one?
Where I actually loved him in is Stranger Than Fiction.
Oh, I was going to say Old School.
No, I don't remember that one.
Have you not seen Old School when he's Frank the Tank?
No,
with him and Vince Vaughn and Luke Wilson? You've never seen that? No. Dude, that's a funny movie.
Now, there's one for you. Vince Vaughn.
Which one?
Could do a good Beetlejuice.
Who?
Vince Vaughn.
Well, he's done enough comedic and dramatic stuff in his life that he could bring a balance to that.
And he's got the hair, sort of.
He does.
And he and Keaton sort of, not exactly, but sort of look alike. I mean, he's a little taller.
Isn't this fun, just sitting around playing the Hollywood fantasy casting game here? I mean, this is getting very interesting.
I've got the perfect movie I want to see.
Which one is that?
Deadpool with the mask.
So basically, you want Ryan Reynolds and Jim Carrey to.
That would be hilarious.
No,
it would be. Even though you couldn't pay me enough money to see it, because, like I said, I don't like Ryan Reynolds, and
that if they ever did that, they could save a whole lot of money by not even having a script. Just build the sets, turn the cameras on, let them go.
Because they know how to improv. I mean Reynolds has been doing it for years, and Jim Carrey's been doing it since he was at Second City.
2.5 hours of improv with the costumes.
They can do it.
Yeah.
If Jim and Ryan got together, they could do it totally. Yeah. I could definitely see him doing it. Do I want it?
Wait, there'd be one caveat. They'd have to get along. If they don't like each other, it wouldn't work.
Yeah, let's not have another situation where you don't like each other on set, like Jim Carrey had with Tommy Lee Jones on Batman Forever.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
those two actors hated. I mean, well, I think it's more so Tommy Lee hated Jim Carrey, whereas Jim Carrey was cool, but Tommy Lee Jones and him didn't get along very well. They hated each other, or mostly it was just Tommy hating on Jim.
That's what I read. It was more Tommy not liking Jim.
yeah.
Tommy was very dead set, serious, straight line actor, and Carrey was
comedic.
Yeah.
But the movie that Tommy Lee was in with him in Batman Forever, I mean, Tommy Lee Jones ended up being comedic in his role anyway.
Yeah.
Because he was zany. He was over the top.
Well, Tommy Lee Jones can do comedy. It's just
he doesn't like to do it.
I think it was more that Jim Carrey was a little bit too much improv for
Tommy, yeah.
For Tommy's taste as far as, hey, we've got work to do. And
is Batman Forever the one with Clooney?
No. This is the one with Val Kilmer.
Oh, okay.
It was Val Kilmer, Chris O'Donnell, also Nicole Kidman, who, by the way, Nicole, I know you're watching this. You haven't aged a day, okay? Nicole Kidman is one of those actresses who just doesn't seem to want to age, because in that movie she plays Dr. Chase Meridian, and 25 years later I'm looking at Nicole Kidman and I'm thinking, you haven't really aged much since I met you in that film, professionally, not personally, but professionally since I met you in Batman Forever. And then after that I went back and watched some of your other filmography, which included Days of Thunder with Tom Cruise. There you go. Oh. Anyone remember Days of Thunder?
Yes.
No, nobody?
Yeah.
Okay, I do.
That's where
I love the part where they had to iron out their differences.
Yeah. So I mean, I can tell that Nicole Kidman changed from 1991 to 1995, but, you know, she hasn't really aged much since 95's Batman Forever, if I'm being honest.
And now she lives in Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, now Ryan has a reason to come to Tennessee.
Yeah, I should come over to Tennessee after I'm done hanging out with everybody at Dalton, Georgia for HallowCon. HallowCon. Gosh.
She married Keith Urban, the country star.
Yes. I do know that she remarried. I knew she lived happily ever after she got away from Tom Cruise. But yeah. You know, the other movie I haven't seen her in that I hear was really good, and this is a Nicole Kidman film. I think both her and Tom are in this together, right? Far and Away.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet, but I hear it's really good.
It's pretty good, but
is it a bit much? Is that it?
Also,
is it too long? Is the movie too long? Is the running time really getting you?
It's kind of got. It's slow in parts. It's just,
so are you saying that it's a bit of a slow burn?
If that.
Now it's a slow smolder.
Is that what it is?
Well, the funny parts are great. I mean,
are they?
But there's so much build up to every funny part. It's kind of.
You know what made me respect Nicole Kidman as an actress more so than what? I mean, granted, Batman Forever, you can say whatever you want, but the film she did like 8 years later, maybe a decade or so later. Has anyone ever seen a movie called Cold Mountain?
Yes, with her.
Has anyone ever seen that? Have you seen
her and Jude Law?
Yeah. So in that movie, which is a period piece, right? And I think, didn't she get Oscar nominated for that? Or she got like Oscar buzz around that role? I mean, I know Renee Zellweger won Best Supporting Actress, but that movie made me respect Nicole Kidman as an actress, because that's a very deep, emotional, serious part, right? Not to say that she can't do it, previously, but in this movie, Cold Mountain, I said to myself, this movie is very deep, and the actors are very good at what they're doing, because these roles are like, they're serious stuff. So my hat's off to everybody in that film. I can't remember who directed it, but Cold Mountain was a good film.
I'm looking at some of the names in it. There is not a minor actor in that whole thing.
Not really.
Jude Law, Nicole Kidman, Renee Zellweger, Elaine Atkins, Brendan Gleeson.
Yeah, Brendan Gleeson.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yes.
Natalie Portman.
Oh my God.
Giovanni Ribisi. Donald Sutherland.
Oh, I love Donald, by the way.
Ray Winstone. Kathy Baker. James Gammon.
Oh God.
Charlie. I'm going to butcher this name. Charlie Hunnam.
Oh, you mean Charlie Hunnam?
That's the one. Yes.
Yeah, from Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know who Charlie is.
Jack White from White Stripes.
Yep.
Played Georgia.
Yep.
And then Gina Malone.
Jenna Malone, yeah.
Jenna Malone. Ethan Suplee.
That's a stacked cast.
No kidding.
That's a stacked. You know what? I got to go back and revisit this here, John, because I haven't seen that movie in like 10, 15 years since it came out.
I just remembered a movie that Nicole Kidman was really good in.
Hmm?
Her and Hugh Jackman in Australia.
You know, I saw that in a theater because of how hyped the trailer made it look. And after watching the movie, I was like, Really? It wasn't that good. To me, that movie was disappointing because what the trailer portrayed something that the movie actually wasn't, and that bothered me.
Mm.
So I was I was disappointed. I kind of wanted to go up to the counter and get my $10.50 back because I was like, "What? This is the movie? Like what? Huh?" I don't know. I thought it was weird. I don't think that movie worked. By the way, Carl Witzman added the movie Eyes Wide Shut, which was Stanley Kubrick's last film before he died. I have not seen Eyes Wide Shut, but I've heard very mixed reactions to that. So I don't know if that's worth my 2.5 hours. I don't know. I know it's streaming somewhere, but I don't know. Has anyone seen that? I don't know.
The Batman 2 gets an official title and release date.
Oh, with Pattinson, Robert Pattinson. Do we know what the date is?
Let's see here. October 3rd, 2025. And
2025. 2 years from now. Okay.
Well, 2.5, almost.
That makes
Didn't Susan Sarandon have a birthday recently?
Did she?
I think she has one every year.
Yeah, but did she have it this week or was it last month?
Recently. I think she just turned 75, and I can't tell that she's aged. I can't tell that she's aged over 40.
Can I ask a question to the panel? Is that okay? I don't want to take up too much airtime, but
42.
What was it?
42.
What is 42?
The answer to the question.
It's the answer to everything.
40. I don't get it. I'm confused.
Oh.
I'm lost. Anyway.
All right, kick him out. If he got that,
I know. I mean, there's a movie called 42, but like
all the movie references that you know, and you don't know that one.
Really?
Well, book reference even.
Can someone clue me in?
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The ultimate
I saw the
answer
movie
to the
once.
ultimate question.
I saw the movie once, and that was it.
I can understand if you only saw the movie.
I only saw it once
because it sucked.
Because it's
Susan Sarandon's birthday is on October 4th.
Oh, hey, that's a few weeks before. What is it called? HallowCon. There you go. There you go. We got something to celebrate.
All right, my turn. I got to go down the hall.
Oh,
all right.
Okay, take a break. Take 5. So my question to the panel, I don't know if anyone saw this.
Be sure to turn the mic off.
Oh. Joe Dog's having trouble. By the way, Carl says in the chat that I would not like the motion picture Eyes Wide Shut. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I would tend to agree.
Carl, that's fair. I'm not going to argue with you. But how do we... Someone brought this up, and I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Because I didn't see this coming. I don't think any of us saw this coming. How does anyone feel about what was revealed as far as the cover of the magazine with Martha Stewart?
Oh, and
and what happened with Sports Illustrated? Because I got to be honest with you, I never saw that coming. Never. In a million years, I would never have seen that coming.
I have not the faintest idea of what you're talking about, and now
Martha Stewart was on the cover of Sports Illustrated recently.
In a swimsuit.
In a swimsuit at the age of 81.
And looks pretty good.
And
I'll take your word for it.
No, I mean, if you want,
No, I do not. I do not want to see the image. No, I do not like. Right. I do not like Martha Stewart.
Okay. Okay. I didn't mean to. I'm not trying to cross any lines here, but I just thought it'd be like, you know what? This thing happened in pop culture news this week, and I just thought if anyone had an opinion of it, clearly we don't have to get into it. It's fine. Doesn't matter. It's not important.
Seriously, just just to forestall John pulling the photograph up, which I know he's
I
gonna
am
do.
this close to
he's not
pulling that
doing it,
damn
though.
photo up. Let me tell you.
He's not pulling it up though.
I'm thinking about it.
Uh,
Dan doesn't want him to.
well, I don't care what else he's pulling. I don't want to see the photograph.
It's on the internet. Anyway,
It's all over the internet. I'm surprised.
by the way,
Dan hasn't
that was
seen
something that was revealed on the interwebs this week, and I just thought to myself, I never saw that one coming. I was just shocked. That's all. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say it's bad. I'm not going to say it's good either. I'm just saying that this is a pop culture thing that happened this week, and we found out, and I was just like, okay, this happened.
Hey, with about
Believe me, I would much rather see Irene Ryan's Playboy spread than Martha Stewart in anything but prison uniforms. I swear.
Oh, doesn't she do a podcast every week, Martha Stewart?
She might do. I wouldn't know.
Does she have one? She probably has a podcast laying around somewhere.
Hang on a second.
Someone has a podcast about it. Carl Witzman says, I don't care for this individual either, but hey, she looks good in the photo, respectively. Okay. That's fair, Carl. No problem. I can't believe I bring something up and everyone's just kind of like, we're going to avoid this like the Black Plague.
I do not own enough liquor to be able to come up with a brain bleach for that.
I just thought I'd ask a respectable question.
It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. There are very, very few individuals on this planet that I have an adverse reaction to.
Right, individuals, right.
So far you brought up 2 tonight. So
I know I'm going way off the reservation here. I'm being crazy. Really originally my plan was to come on here tonight and say hello to everybody and make sure everybody's doing fine. And the second thing I was going to do here is let everybody know that I'm no longer unemployed, at least for the time being, which is great because I'm hoping this is going to lead to something else when the season's over.
Everything always does, though.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Everything leads to something else if you give it enough time.
Have you ever been on unemployment before?
Me personally, no, never.
Okay.
Hello, Keisha.
It screws up your taxes. Be ready.
It does.
You mean being on unemployment screws up your taxes?
Mm-hmm.
It makes them much more difficult to file.
Then I guess it's a good thing I'm not on unemployment.
Mm-hmm. I actually refused to file for 2 weeks of unemployment here last month.
Really?
Because I didn't want it to screw up my income tax in my last year of gainful employment before I retire.
That's fair. That's understandable. Well, hey, guess what, guys? I'm not on unemployment, so it's a good thing I'm not, because then otherwise it would have messed up my taxes. So there you go. Lesson learned. Oh, by the way, Keisha says, "Oh, Keisha, good to see you. Hello, beautiful people." Keisha, it is always, and by the way, Keisha, congratulations on the little nugget. It's going to be born pretty soon. Congratulations on that. Wonderful news.
I'm surprised that she's not due already, but I have no idea what the calendar is actually like for her.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She said she was expecting very, 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 very soon. So, Keisha, let us know how you're doing health-wise. I hope everything's going well. And by the way, hope the little Dolores is doing well. The little munchkin of yours that you already have running around the house.
Yeah, Dolores is trying to publish her own Ouija board.
Keisha says the baby is due on June the 21st, so it's next month, guys.
Ooh.
We wish you the best, Keisha. We love you, by the way.
And you make sure the doctors take good care of you. Otherwise, they will have to answer to us.
That is very true. It's very true. But due on June the 21st. Woo! And by the way, what is it? Dolores? Oh no. Dolores has a temperature of 103. Oh, my gosh. Dolores, if you're listening to this, if you're watching this, which I know you're not because this isn't an age-appropriate content for children, get well soon. We wish you the best. We are sending positive vibes your way.
Keisha, honey, give Dolores big hugs from all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, please. Dolores, get well soon. I'm so sorry you're under the weather. Please get well soon because I want you to be well. Yeah, that's wow. You know, the more they posted. I'm sorry, Dan. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Well, I just started saying I've been a grandfather so many times. I hate it when one of the kids gets sick because it's one of those things you know what you can do, and it always seems to be this is out of my hands, and I don't like that.
No.
Nope.
Right. That's very true. I didn't notice this before. Donna Carly Carlene says, I recently watched a movie called The Northman. and she totally did not recognize Nicole Kidman was the queen. I didn't know that. Have I heard of the Northman before? I don't think I have.
Don't know.
I'm gonna have to Google that later.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
That sounds like, yeah. There's a lot of things I'm gonna have to Google after this show. This is the problem with being on a panel with 4 or 5 other people. You learn all these new things, and afterwards you think to yourself, "Yeah, I got to good like Google 50 different things when this show's over."
That's why I try and throw everything on stupid o'clock as fast as the comments come.
Which is good, because Donna Carlene is talking about a movie called The Northman, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't know if I've heard of this movie yet, so I guess I got to go look it up now.
Knowing Donna and hearing the title of the movie, I would think it has something to do with Vikings.
Northman? Yeah, probably. Oh,
very realistic Viking movie, not your Hollywood variety. Okay, yeah. Okay. They actually portray the Vikings as bathing and brushing their hair, which is historically accurate.
It came out last year? No kidding.
Last year. Alexander Skarsgård, Nicole Kidman, and Ethan Hawke.
Ooh,
I like him.
That's a good cast.
Willem Dafoe.
Hey.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to see this movie now. I'm going to see this movie. I'm going to write it. I'm going to write this down at some point.
I actually saw the movie about the murder of Bob. Bugger.
Bob
now
Barker.
I can't remember. I can't remember Hogan's Heroes.
Bob Crane.
Bob Crane. Yeah, I watched that movie not because I was interested in the murder of Bob Crane, which is an unsolved mystery, which normally fascinates me, but Willem Dafoe was in it.
Really? Nice.
As the most likely suspect for the killer. And Willem Dafoe has struck me as one of those actors where if he's in a movie and they turn him loose, it's more than likely going to be a very watchable movie. He has a wide range.
He very much, what was I going to say earlier? Oh, he very much does. Oh, speaking of movies, I should have brought this up earlier. I apologize for not doing this. I watched an extended cut of a movie that came out about 25 some odd years. I think it was 25 years ago, actually. This is directed by Antoine Fuqua. This was Antoine Fuqua's directorial debut, and it was The Replacement Killers with Chow Yun-fat. It was his North American film debut, and Academy Award winner Mira Sorvino is in this movie, right? So The Replacement Killers came out with a theatrical cut that was like an hour 26, hour 28 minutes. This extended cut was like 10 minutes or less longer than that cut. I don't remember a lot about the theatrical cut because I haven't seen the theatrical cut in a long time. But this extended cut, for whatever reason, it worked. I really liked it. I enjoyed it. So if you're looking for watch Friday night and you got an hour and 33 minutes to spare, The Replacement Killers is a fun shoot 'em up action movie with Chow Yun-fat and Mira. Well, hello, Nicole Kidman, who hasn't aged a day since 1995.
Who's playing Queen Gudrun. Or Gudrun.
Yeah. So if anyone's looking for something to do on a Friday night and you got 90 or so minutes to spare and you can find the extended cut on a streaming service, which I don't know if you can or not, but if you were to stream The Replacement Killers, by the way, it's also got a really good opening sequence. The first 3 or 4 minutes is set to the song. It's by the Crystal Method. I believe it's called "Keep Hope Alive," and it's an electro techno song. It was featured as the opening credits song for Third Watch on TV.
This is out of left field, but for our fans that are anime fans,
yes,
Netflix has just come out with the 3rd season of Ultraman animated.
Really?
Yes. I am very excited.
I've heard a lot of things about Ultraman over the years.
I was introduced to it back in the 60s when we got the English dub of one of the countless live action series. And this has the benefit and of having some of the original actors from that American import in the anime,
Really?
and it's drawn well enough to where you can tell it's the actual people.
Hmm.
And they have returned to do, well, one or two of them have returned to do the voices for their character. And it's awesome. It is absolutely awesome. Takes me down memory lane all the time. And the anime is well, the live action was one thing, but the anime is like on steroids and kicking it up a notch from there. So it's very for someone that grew up as a kid loving that series and catching it all the time, to see this and to see the recognizable people from the old cast, um, and hearing they're actually doing the voice acting, it's exciting. I mean, it, if you'd have to bring back the entire voice cast for Astro Boy to get me even more excited, but memories. Uh, Sorry, I do get enthused about the strangest things.
Oh, I posted that song Ryan was talking about, Stupid O'Clock. And it's very techno. But it sounds like something you'd expect to see in a Kung Fu movie. So.
Oh, last night I wound up watching bootleg copies of 2 Hawkwind concerts, separated by 10 years. Unfortunately, they were bootlegs from the live concerts, so sound quality was god awful, and everything was out of focus.
Well,
The music was wonderful. I am a big Hawkwind fan. I absolutely love that band. I've only got like 60 of their albums. I mean, it's not like Frank Zappa that's got 150 albums out, and people only know 5 of them. But no, with Hawkwind, you probably only know at most 3 songs, and that's just the general exposure they've had to the U.S. public.
I can't believe Carl thought he was dead.
Well, you know,
it kind of looks that way.
I mean, I would. Willem Dafoe is one of those actors. Like, if I mean, whoever. By the way, any loss is tragic, right? Yes. Anyone we lose is tragic. But if Willem Dafoe was dead, the world would probably explode. So, Carl, like, you would know if Willem was, like, we would tell you if Willem was dead. But yeah, Willem's not going anywhere. Honestly, I mean, the guy's played the Green Goblin. The first time I ever met Willem Dafoe professionally was in the movie Spider-Man, where he played the Green Goblin. So when I found that out, and then I've seen some other stuff that he's been in. I mean, he was in a vampire movie a decade ago called Daybreakers, which is a good vampire movie, by the way. He can play all kinds of different parts.
Yes, he can.
So in my opinion, I mean, Willem Dafoe hasn't really aged in the 20 years that I've known him professionally.
So. That's not going to work. I just about put some silicone in my drink.
That's not good.
I reached under the desk and pulled up the wrong bottle. Sorry. Thankfully,
I'm going to fix that.
Yep. I'm not going to fix that in post. I'm going to fix that right now in live special effects. So
okay.
Armor All and Crown Royal is not going to make a good drink. No. Sorry.
Yeah, I was trying to remember what was the first movie I ever remembered seeing Willem Dafoe in, and I want to say it was probably Streets of Fire.
Was he in Boondock Saints?
Let's see here.
I think he was in Boondock Saints, wasn't he?
Carl, I'm not drinking Kraken.
Yes, he was. Played Paul.
Exactly. Okay, so I haven't seen that yet, but I hear that was one of his best
Shadow
roles.
of the Vampire, he played Max Schreck.
Oh, is that where they?
Yeah.
Is that where they got the idea for the character Max Shrek in that horrible movie Batman Returns with Christopher?
No. Max Shrek was an actor in the original
Nosferatu.
black and white movie Nosferatu, which was based.
So that's why Tim Burton put him in that movie. Okay, got it.
That's why Tim Burton. It was a nod to the original actor for Nosferatu. And as a further historical note, Bram Stoker's widow tried to get every copy of that original 1920s silent film of Nosferatu destroyed.
What? Because
they didn't pay for the rights to use Dracula, even though there's nobody says anything about Dracula in there.
When they couldn't get the rights to Dracula, they just changed it to Nosferatu and basically did their own. It's almost the same story as Dracula, just with a different name.
I did not.
Oh yeah, that's one of those things that I've never been to film school, but that's one of those things if you're a horror fan, you would learn in film school.
I don't think we learn that in film school? When I had my film courses back in college. I don't think we did. By the way, Donna says you won't even recognize Willem Dafoe in the movie known as The Northman either. And then Carl says Dafoe had a part in one of the Tom Clancy films, the one set in Colombia, I think it was. Yeah. Oh, that was it Clear and Present Danger?
Clear and Present Danger.
Yeah, that was the Harrison Ford one. You know, to be honest with you, I didn't like that one. I like Patriot Games more than Clear and Present Danger. As far as Harrison Ford playing Jack Ryan, his best film to me was Patriot Games. Has anyone?
Yes.
Okay.
No, but I was about to say Clancy's a damn good writer.
Oh, I haven't read any of his novels.
If you like that genre,
I do like the genre. I just haven't read his books. What's the best one to start with, Dan? What do you think I should go first?
I don't know. I've only read 2 or 3, and they were not in order.
Okay. That doesn't help me.
I'm just saying, I didn't read it because of his name. I just read it because one of my friends said, "Hey, this is a great book. Give it back to me when you're done."
Okay.
So,
guess I'll have to Google. Tom Clancy movies. Yeah, that was Clear and Present Danger. That was such a disappointing film as compared to the first one. So disappointing.
Well, there is that thing that
sequelitis.
We always say this. We see the movie and go, "Oh, the book was much better." Yeah. Naturally, it's got 100 times more detail than a movie could do. Probably. Because it's got a time limit.
Yeah.
Whereas the book, there's no end to the amount of detail you can throw in, the amount of character development and everything else. The only movie I've ever seen that I thought was actually better than the book, and I'm sorry, the man's still alive and he's on my friends list. Logan's Run.
Oh my gosh, that movie's been mentioned a lot lately. I've been playing movie trivia the last couple nights, so that questions about Logan's Run have come up. So one of these days I got to sit down and watch that flippin' film. Or maybe I should avoid it like the plague.
No, you should not. Just remember that the characters have been in an enclosed archaeology city all of their lives. They've never seen the outdoors.
Oh.
So the first time they ever see the sun, they're surprised. And people in the theater when the movie was new was going, "Oh, this is stupid. They ought to know what the sun." And no, they don't know. They've only seen the inside of a shopping mall the size of Texas.
No, that's wow. Okay, I'll have to watch this at some point. Carl says read the oldest ones by who is it? Clancy. The newer Clancy had a political bent that went too far, and he also says The Sum of All Fears was the best Clancy in Carl Witzman's humble opinion.
Yep,
So,
I would trust Carl on that. Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
I could probably find a paperback or a hardcover of that at McKay's down the street from my house. By the way, speaking of Throwback Thursday, I actually finished watching. This wasn't the complete series. This was a best of series collection. It was a 2-disc set, just to be perfectly clear. It was 9 episodes from the 80s action series known as Knight Rider with David Hasselhoff. I finished watching it the other night, and I got to be honest, I enjoy Knight Rider a lot. I enjoy Knight Rider a lot. The problem is the way they ended, even though they picked up the ending with the made-for-TV movie Knight Rider 2000 that came out a few years after the series had ended.
Yes.
Which cleaned up the mess. Because when they ended it with Voodoo Knight, I'm thinking, thank goodness there was Knight Rider 2000, because that is not the way you want to end the show with Voodoo Knight. With that being
No, but Knight Rider 2000 is not the way you wanted to end it either.
Well, I mean, granted, it wasn't the best ending for the series, but at the same time, like, at least it was an ending.
Yeah.
You know?
And then there was...
it was better than Voodoo Knight.
There was another one that was Knight Rider in name only, because there was a big tank-like vehicle.
It was in
and
2000.
I can't remember if it...
It was in 2009, right? You thinking of the 2009 series that came out on NBC?
No, that's Team Knight Rider, which was not bad, but it had a terrible ending as well, because Michael Knight came back for the last 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But no, there was one. I think it might have been called Knight Rider 2010 or something like that, because it came out way earlier than that date, and it's like a
Now, are you talking about the series that?
No, I'm talking about the movie that was pretty much imitating the Mad Max sort of dystopian future after the fall of civilization sort of thing. It got very little notice. I think it was a made-for-TV movie, thank God. But the vehicle was nice. The story was incomprehensible. The acting was okay, but it didn't have anything to do with Knight Rider except for the name.
Had Lee Majors and gasoline cars were banned.
Oh, jeez.
No. This is even later than wait a minute.
I know what you're thinking of, but Joe, which was a good movie because it also featured Burgess Meredith.
Yeah, he would stop at gas stations and with the hand pump what was left out of the bottom of the gas tank to fill the car up to keep going.
Now this was more like the vehicle was more like the Batmobile from oh God, now I can't think of the name of the graphic novel.
Dark Knight Returns.
Dark Knight Returns. Yes.
Yeah, Frank Miller.
Great big huge tank of a thing.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And aside from that, had nothing to do with Knight Rider. Not a single reference to the series, not a single reference to the movie. It was just there. It might as well just have had a totally different name. You know,
I mean, they rebooted both Knight Rider and Bionic Woman in the late 2000s, and
yes,
they
did.
And I was, to be honest with you, at the time, because different generations are on this panel, I was excited for these reboots.
I was too.
I was very excited actually, because the response to Michelle Ryan's iteration of Bionic Woman, because Michelle Ryan's the actress who plays the Jamie character in Bionic Woman, I really liked her as an actress, and I think she played the part really well, because they took a more, I mean, the original series was serious, but it was of its time, but this was very dark and very serious, and I actually liked that approach with Bionic Woman, because what if you had these organisms in your body? Like, how would an actual person react? Like, they would be freaking out, they would have PTSD from the car crash and everything else. They handled that pretty well. It only got 9 episodes, Bionic Woman, and then Knight Rider, the later one, the rebooted version of it, with
the rebooted version,
with Justin Bruning playing Michael Knight's son, Mike Tracer, who later changes his name after the pilot episode to Michael Knight. That only lasted like 13, 18 episodes, and then they booted both because the ratings were bad, the situations they were in, the storylines just weren't lining up. They weren't doing well.
They were not well served by the scripts.
Yeah, they were not well served by the people who were working behind the camera. So my thing is, I enjoyed them for what they were. But if they were given more time and they got a different writing team, or maybe someone took over, maybe you got maybe a new team or a new like cook in the kitchen to like shake things up and bring it like give it more grit, I think it really would have worked. And I would have liked to have seen potentially a crossover between Bionic Woman and Knight Rider, because in the new age of digital technology and bionic, replacements for people's limbs or whatever it was, that could work in a crossover. So I would have liked to have seen it.
Yeah. If they were aiming to pull in the fans of the classic series, they totally failed by not referencing the classic series,
or having William Daniels voice Kit in a flashback.
Well, they could have gone in so many different directions, but what they did was that it was a reboot more than a sequel. Even though according to the scripts, it was sequel, but no, they ignored everything else and didn't drop in all the fan service that the fans would have flocked to the series to see, but was absent. So after the first couple of episodes, the fans go, I think I'll go watch reruns of Lauren Green on Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, the ratings, unfortunately, they tend, and I feel bad for, what was it, Michelle? I got to IMDb her, but Michelle Ryan, who played the new Bionic Woman, she was a very capable actress, and I think she could have done really good things with her career.
Oh yeah, everybody was top notch. It's just the script sucked.
They were and I feel bad about that, because it's like these are some talented young up and coming actors, especially what was it, Michelle Ryan was. I mean, when you see her, you're like, anything she says you're going to listen to. Like, she just has that draw. It just bums me out that it didn't work. But yeah, I finished watching Knight Rider, the original. I'm talking about David Hasselhoff's iteration, and Voodoo Knight was not the best way to end it. And then I remember watching Knight Rider 2000 when Netflix had the rights to the Knight Rider series and Knight Rider 2000. So it's a good thing I watched Knight Rider 2000 before they took it off. And I realized, okay, that was an ending. It's good. It's fine. It's not the best, but hey, it's better than... Now that I've seen Voodoo Knight with season 4, episode 24, whatever it was, thank goodness they at least had a little bit of closure with Knight Rider 2000.
The best sequel to Knight Rider was not intended to be a sequel to Knight Rider. It was called Highwayman. And John knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Was this a series or was this a movie?
It was a very short-lived series. And
because I know
once again, it was not well served by the script writers.
Okay.
But
I know a movie called Highwaymen, but it starred Jim Caviezel and Rona Mitra, which came out like in the 2000s or late 2000s.
Nope, John, you want to explain this one? You probably already got it pulled up.
It's a cross between BJ and the Bear and Knight Rider.
Oh God!
It's a U.S. Marshal with a super truck that turns into a helicopter.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy! That's intriguing. I'd watch that.
It was fun. The vehicles were the best part of the show.
Yeah, I would watch that, Dan.
Do you remember the Energizer or the Energizer battery commercial from
yeah,
with Jacko? Yes,
I watched them all the time as a kid.
Remember Jacko?
Yeah,
the Australian wrestler guy.
I think so. Yeah,
he played one of the highwaymen.
He played one of the marshals.
Really?
And there was a truck that actually it looked great before you found out it actually had a helicopter embedded in it, like a transformer. And then
my God, that Sam J. Jones played the highway.
Yeah, Sam Jones.
Sam Jones.
Sam Jones from Flash Gordon.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me because one of the things I discovered when I was watching Knight Rider. When I was watching Knight Rider, did you know that Peter Cullen was the voice of Carr? That went up against Kit. He was like the prototype of Kit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Peter Cullen was the voice of Carr, and I'm just like, so Optimus Prime was the voice of an evil version of Kit. Well done, Peter Cullen.
Yeah, that works.
I'm posting the Highwayman link.
Please do, because you got me intrigued here.
Tim Russ was in it, yeah.
Claudia Christian was in it.
Wait,
Oh, it
Claudia Christian?
Babylon 5, Claudia Christian. Yes. Her.
Oh,
It
God.
had some great people in it,
But
and
it
the
wasn't
vehicles
script well
were
by the
really good.
script writers.
But the script writers
We're
dropped the ball.
stupid.
They should have been watching reruns of Knight Rider and Buckaroo Banzai and
Buckaroo, but man,
oh man, we almost had a Buckaroo Banzai TV series.
did we?
Yeah,
Did we have a? Okay.
almost.
Honestly, I don't know what. I don't think any network does this right now. But hypothetically, even though I know you can stream it, don't get me wrong. If some network is airing reruns of Knight Rider, I would watch it.
Yeah,
because I like Knight Rider that much. It's like, you know what? It's a talking car. It's the most technologically at the time, like advanced car of the 80s, like at that time. And William Daniels, who plays Feeney in Boy Meets World, is the voice of Kit for this car. And I'm just thinking, that's incredible. His voice work is incredible. As
look
Kit.
Ryan, look on YouTube, Knight Rider Historian.
Oh, really?
He has a screen-used kit. He has found the tractor trailer and is in the process of restoring them.
Oh, and he's got it tied into his phone so he can queue up the voice clips from William Daniels.
Yeah.
I've seen a few of these, and they are a fan's basic wet dream. It's
yeah, I see this on YouTube now, Joe Dog. That is crazy.
Yep. And he loved the show that much that he went to the trouble and the expense to get all the stuff that is actual props.
Well,
screen used props.
Wow.
And had it reconditioned.
I got mad respect for fans who go that far to celebrate their fandoms, if you know what I mean.
I wish I had that kind of money.
I wish all of us had that kind of money, because I would love to own a Pontiac Trans Am that can talk back to me while I'm driving. Hello, Michael. Or in this case, he would be in the voice box and be like, "Hello, Ryan. Where are we going today?"
Well, nowadays you can buy a Trans Am that'll talk to you. So that's
if you want it to talk back to you, depends on the mood, you know. Ultimate Fans. If I had the money,
I'd get myself a Pontiac Trans Am.
I'd have a Jupiter 2 in the backyard.
And
when I walked around at conventions, the Lost in Space robot would be following me around going, I got a bad feeling about this.
Danger, Dan Hollifield. Danger, John Scarborough.
Hey, I live in Chattanooga, Tennessee. We have a Jupiter 2 in the backyard.
Oh, do you now? It's even better for John.
It's up on Signal Mountain. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I've actually driven past that, taking a college girlfriend home after a SCA event.
Ooh.
Yep, I've seen that thing, and I go, close but no cigar.
All it needs is a little remodeling. Okay,
a little.
I got that theme song. I got that theme song, John, stuck in my head. Now I got the Knight Rider in my head.
Hey, John, you know the legs on the spaceship house? Do you know what they call them? Do you know what the architect actually called them? Jeffries tubes.
Somebody got a sense of humor.
On the blueprints, it says Jeffries tubes. And it was originally, I don't know if it's still there, is a staircase in and out. Or a ladder.
It doesn't go up and down anymore. They broke the mechanism.
Oh.
No, in one of the legs is a ladder to get up and down. Yeah, at one time, Brian, this spaceship house had a staircase that would lift up into it.
Wow,
There is the spaceship house.
that's pretty cool. Is that on the way to HallowCon, or is that way
No,
out?
that's
a little
that's
out of the way,
Chattanooga.
but
That's up on Signal Mountain.
Is it doable?
yeah.
Okay.
If you
Maybe
want
not
to
so
drive,
much.
if you want to drive by and sightsee, yes, you can do it.
Okay.
Um,
If I can spare the time to get my keister out there, I can do it.
well, I mean, seriously.
Yeah,
They've got the staircase from
Was that staircase?
Forbidden Planet. Hey, believe me, I know sci-fi references when I see them.
Forbidden Planet. I've heard that.
You've
I've
not-
heard that. I've heard that
you've
name
not-
across my desk.
You've not seen Forbidden Planet?
No, I've never even seen Battle Beyond the Stars. I've never even seen Kroll. Never seen that.
And Francis stars in.
No, I've not seen that.
Forbidden.
Oh
Planet.
my! I am so jealous that you have that yet to experience.
Yes,
I haven't seen that other movie you mentioned. What was it? The movie you mentioned like weeks and weeks and weeks ago? Plan 9 from Outer Space. I've never seen that either.
Hey Joe, guess what videos you gotta have on at HallowCon this year?
I'm looking right
He's
now.
Googling it on YouTube right now.
You don't have to look. I'll bring the frickin' hard drive.
I need to have
Get
it
the movie for
already.
next
I
week.
need to have it already in the
System.
movie machine.
Oh, okay.
Carl
okay.
Witzman says Anne Francis. What does that mean?
Oh,
Francis.
and Francis was the love interest in Forbidden Planet.
The part I love is the guy walks up to her and sees her swimming.
I don't know.
And she goes, "Why don't you come in? The water's great." He goes, "I didn't bring my swimsuit." She looks at him and goes, "What's a swimsuit?"
Okay. I will.
And that's some fairly clear water that she's swimming in.
Okay. Well, I'll have to watch this movie at some point. It's got to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Forbidden Planet. Anyway, I'm not familiar with the name though. Anne Francis. That's a new one for me.
She's done had done a lot of things. I don't think she's still with us anymore.
Yeah.
I would be
All right.
very surprised.
R.I.P. Anne Francis.
No, yeah, she died in 2011.
Yep.
80 years old.
And Leslie Nielsen was the leading man.
Yes.
Frank Drebin of Police Squad.
Yes.
Get out of here.
He played Captain
And-
Kirk.
And it's not a comedy.
Oh, it's not.
Not
was
exactly. No.
He was doing dramatic acting. I mean,
I don't think I've ever seen Leslie Nielsen in a dramatic role.
And he was also in a movie version of Scarlet Pimpernel, which was sort of comedic, but considering it had to do with the French Revolution and lots of French royalty getting their heads chopped off, was not exactly a comedy. But it's a very
venture to say no.
it's a very witty sort of dramatic role. He was also in let's see. No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Patrick McGowan in the Scarecrow movies.
Chris Walker says Colossus: The Forbin Project. That's another film I need to see.
Yes.
I've never even heard of this, Chris.
Really?
If that doesn't scare the pants off of you, nothing will.
No, I've never seen. Is it a horror film, Colossus? Is that what that is?
It's science fiction. Yeah. It's science fiction. Basically,
is it a horror film?
It's a utopia.
The United States built a supercomputer, and the Russians built another supercomputer.
Mm-hmm.
And they decide between the two supercomputers that humans aren't fit to run the world.
So they kill us.
No, they just tell us you're going to do what we tell you to do.
They kill,
or we will kill you.
Okay, so it's kind of pulling like a HAL 3000 from 2001. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid
it predates that. It predates that.
Oh, it predates that, really?
Yep.
I'm afraid I can't do that.
It's very well done.
Is it?
Okay. It's very.
Don't worry, the Forbin Project is about to happen any day now. Carl Winston says in the chat. Okay.
Colossus, the Forbin. Yep.
Thank you, Carl. That makes me feel so much better about watching this movie tomorrow or whenever I'm going to see it. Feel free to send me a link though, Chris.
Would you say that was in the same sort of vein as the second adaptation of oh crap! Now it's a
Eric Braeden is in it. Who's this? Is this?
That's Anne Francis. Yes.
Oh my goodness, she looks dynamite. She looks
She
dynamite in
is.
this picture.
And she's encrusted with diamonds.
Well, she looks beautiful in that photo. Is that?
That's pretty much the way she was throughout my youth. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
I'm
gonna have to look this up, by the way. Chris says that Eric Braeden is in it. Okay.
Oh, and fellow from $6 Million Man is in it also.
Oh, really? Is it Lee Majors or no?
No.
Played Oscar Goldman.
Oscar Goldman.
Dean
Stockwell?
No.
Richard Dean. No.
Richard
Dean Anderson?
No.
It's not RDA, no, because he was MacGyver.
No,
Richard Anderson.
Oh,
Richard Anderson. Yes.
Richard Anderson? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then Chris Walker says Oscar Goldman. So,
Oscar Goldman, yes. And one of the guys that Walter Pigeon is
Dean says Carl Witzman,
the mad scientist. One of the fellows that played one of the alien Kelvins from a classic Star Trek episode was in there.
Oh, from TOS, the original series. Okay.
Yeah.
Who was?
If you remember the one where everybody got sped up and they were moving so fast they were invisible, the main bad guy from that is also in Forbidden Planet.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look this up. I'm fascinated by this Forbidden Planet.
Oh, it's believe me, it's well worth a watch.
Robbie the Robot.
Yeah,
Robbie the Robot.
After Forbidden Planet, I'll watch Colossus: The Forbidden Project. Or maybe do it in reverse order. Watch the bad news first, and then watch Forbidden Planet as the positive.
Any order that works.
Okay.
I mean, with this crowd, we could always clue you into classic classic movies that, as long as they're vaguely science fiction or horror, because if you want to talk horror, you got to get with Skunk. But science fiction, we're your crowd.
I mean, I've seen the original Time Machine movie. I've seen the 50s version of War. I've seen the 50s version of War of the Worlds.
War of the Worlds. Yep.
I've seen that, which is good. I liked it because we watched it in film class, by the way.
George Pell. Yeah.
Was that it? Yeah.
George Pell did the 50s color version of War of the Worlds.
Yes, that's what I was getting at. That's what we watched in my film course. Gosh, what was the other one? I really regret watching. I mean, we didn't intend for this. It's just how the professor did it. We watched the extended European cut of 1983's. Is it 83? No, it was 84. I apologize. I'm referring to 1984. We watched the European version of Supergirl, and I'm just like, why?
Oh, okay.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? This doesn't make the film any better.
No, I can't imagine how he would think it was unless there was.
No, there was a lesson to be learned from that because it was a superhero film course that we were taking, and he was like, "Okay, let me introduce you to some of the bad ones first, I guess," and then he introduced us to some of the other ones, and I'm just like, "Can we just sit back and watch The Dark Knight or something? Like, let's watch Batman Begins for 2 hours. How about that?"
Peter O'Toole was pretty good in that movie, although he was sadly underused.
Yeah, he was Zoltar, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I can't remember the character's name, but
I think it was Zoltar.
It was.
Anybody remember that?
Earl Holliman is the comic relief in Forbidden Planet. Yes, thank you, Sarah.
Oh, hi, Sarah Heiser. Good to see you. Mac of all trades. Not sure who that is, but good to see you too.
Now, Earl Holliman played the ship's cook, and he developed a friendship with Robbie the Robot, and asked Robbie if he could reproduce some old rocket bourbon.
Magavall Trade says Supergirl was just terrible. It was before its time in all the worst ways. Yeah, it was.
Mm,
It was.
yeah, there were some.
The only two things that connect that movie to the refilms are Mark McClure reprises his role as Jimmy Olsen, right? And then you have the poster of Christopher Reeve pointing at the sky as Superman as a poster in Lucy Lane's bedroom, which is Lois's sister. Lucy Lane, I believe. Yeah, she was in Supergirl, right? Lucy Lane. She was the girl at the boarding school that Linda Lee, as she disguised herself as Supergirl, went to.
Yeah.
Helen Slater's a beautiful woman and a talented actress, but that movie didn't do her any favors.
Hey, Rich, welcome back.
Hey, Richie Rich is back in the building after multitasking 500 different projects for 600 different people. Way to go, Rich.
He was off sweet talking his wife.
Oh, and making sure that he spends time with the most important person in his life, which is the missus. So well done, Rich. You've done well.
He's not going to be multitasking on that job, let me tell you.
No. I didn't say that you were, Rich. I'm just saying that you had other things to take care of, and I'm glad that you're able to take care of them respectively. And Chris Walker says, Supergirl had even worse writing than the Green Lantern movie with Ryan freaking Reynolds.
Yep. And I've got to admit, I liked both of those movies. But I did not approach them with a critical thinking mind engaged.
They're not bad as long as you don't look at them as canon.
Okay, that's
as long as you realize that a writer came at it and said, "Hey, wouldn't it be cool if we did this?" And then producers decided, "Hey, we like that idea, that idea, that idea, that idea, but we don't like the way that they're linked. So let's go ahead and throw in some other bullshit."
Yeah, really. Let's just toss everything into a salad bowl and scramble it around a little bit.
The money people wanted XYZ, so they had to provide XYZ.
I'm with you. Yeah, good point, Rich. Yeah, it's just and I even went to one of my local comic shops before I moved down here to North Carolina. So I went to one in Maryland, and I noticed that in the DVD section, they had a copy of the extended European cut of Supergirl and Diva. I can't remember what the price was. I think it was like $5-10, and I'm just thinking to myself, no. It's just no. I was like, hard pass, never watching this again. If I want to see Supergirl, I'll watch her episodes on season 7 of Smallville. Thank you very much. Because that's a great iteration of Supergirl, but that movie version just didn't do her any favor. The character, anyway.
Exactly. Yes.
Ryan,
have you seen Rocky Horror Picture Show?
I saw a live version of it at my college, but not the movie with what's his face, Tim Curry,
and Barry Bostwick and Susan Sarandon.
I haven't seen it, but I've seen the actual musical at my college.
Richard O'Brien, the fellow that actually wrote the music, and
I'm sorry, I have not seen Rocky Horror Picture Show the movie, but I have seen the musical at my college.
Please correct that. I mean,
yes,
it's not a big deal, but
it's better at a live show where people are acting the stuff out and
in front of the movie screen.
Audience participation.
Audience participation. Yes, that's what made it. That's what made it the cult thing.
Okay.
But my purpose for referencing that is that Barry Bostwick also did a questionable sci-fi movie after that called Megaforce.
It wasn't questionable.
I was wondering.
I never heard of this. I never heard of this. I never heard of this, Dan.
It's fun,
but it's bad.
But it's definitely one of those you turn off your brain before you buy your ticket at the theater.
Okay. Is it so bad that it's good? Is that what it is?
Let me put it to you this way.
I would say so.
Let me put it to you this way.
Yeah, John.
If you enjoyed watching Knight Rider, it's basically Knight Rider goes to the military.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and
how Needham did all the stunts work. So it's actually kind of cool.
Really.
And one of the things that I like most about it, one of the airplane pilots, the guys with the big planes that were trucking them in, was actually one of the doctors from Emergency that was tied into
Yeah, he was a
rescue.
famous Western actor. And
Yes, he was. Yes, he
uh,
was.
I can't remember which Western series he was in.
Now, here's the thing with Megaforce.
Yeah.
12-year-old Richie and his friends rented that at least once a month, usually probably averaging twice a month. When we were having our, hey, let's go watch movies at so-and-so's house, and buying pizza and stuff like that. Yeah, it's
Okay.
Oh,
it's a fun pizza and popcorn movie.
Oh,
Really?
now I see what you mean, Rich. I got you.
The boss from Knight Rider played.
Oh, Richard Mulhare?
Yes, Richard
Played the
Mulhare was in there
general.
as.
Are you serious?
He played the general in Megaforce that hired the mercenary. Basically, he got their mercenary unit to go in and.
Oh, dude, I like him in Knight Rider. I like Richard
Oh
Mulhare.
yeah. Well, he was playing a bad guy in this movie.
Sort of.
Plays the antagonist?
Sort of.
Sort of, kind of.
Incompetent bad guy, maybe.
You
but,
starts off-
I like Richard Mulhare and I like Knight Rider, so this is going to work out just fine.
He starts off as the good guy,
And then he becomes.
but after they deploy the military unit, well, I better not say. Let's
All
just
right,
say
well, don't spoil it for me, John.
it's political.
All right, don't spoil it for me.
you got to remember, you're going to have to go out and buy you a huge bag of nachos because this is a really cheesy movie.
I understand. Nice little boom. All right, where are the drum sets when we need them? By the way, Mac of all trades chimed in. He said, "I'm in the process of moving." Hope everyone. He says, "Yeah, Supergirl was an amalgam of bad decisions." Yeah, and then Chris goes on to say, "Green Lantern was good, except that all the government people and scientists were so dumb and stupid that the antagonist was too vague, and his minion was lame and creepy."
Yeah.
Okay.
All the stuff about Green Lantern and the Lantern Corps in the movie was good.
Yeah,
The script
it was stupid.
was garbage.
Yeah, it didn't serve anybody really well, did it?
No, and it. Believe me, if they had just given Ryan Reynolds the concept, the green screen for the costume,
An actual green suit that wasn't animated.
well, actually, it's not as bad as everybody makes out. It worked. It was as magical as the real thing was from the comic books. But just that script. Oh God.
Well, I heard that they are in the this thing has been in development, heck, if you will, for a number of years of rebooting or starting over with Green Lantern. They're going to make a movie called either The Green Lantern Corps, and then I heard someone say they were going to adapt Jeff Johns' best-selling graphic novel, Green Lantern and Blackest Night, which I hear is a very popular title amongst DC fans. So I don't know. If they make a Green Lantern movie, go ahead and do it. Because anything's going to be better than that Ryan Reynolds trash. But yeah, it's going to be a Green Lantern Corps movie, or it's going to be an In Blackest Night movie. So who knows? Oh, by the way, Chris says if I like Knight Rider, I'm going to like something known as Street Hawk.
Street Hawk was basically Knight Rider with a motorcycle.
Hey, give it to me, man. I'm in.
Nobody mentioned Automan, or I'm going to get upset.
Well, Street Hawk. I think I've heard about Street Hawk once, so I'll visit that at some point, Chris. Thank you.
Let's just nip this in the bud. Automan was the Nickelodeon version of Knight Rider.
And no, someone grew up on Nickelodeon in the 90s.
It was ABC.
It was what?
It was either ABC or NBC.
Oh, okay.
No. It quality wise, it was Nickelodeon.
No. Nickelodeon had much better production.
Much better quality. Okay.
I should know because I grew up on 90s Nickelodeon.
Desi Arnaz Jr.
Tron style animation.
Yeah.
Very, very.
I don't like Tron, but I like Tron Legacy. I'll tell you that.
You remember the original Tron?
I have seen the original Tron, so at least I know both movies.
They tried to use that same technology on
TV.
No.
On a TV, it just didn't work.
On a TV budget.
That is not good. Even the first Tron.
It did not work.
Tron.
It did not work.
It came out shortly after Tron, so to be fair, it was current technology.
True, but they also experimented with that technology on the film The Last Starfighter.
No,
Which I
they
actually
perfected that technology on the last Starfighter.
Well, they did, but what I'm saying is, like, to
Last
me,
Starfighter is one of my
I-
personal all-time favorite movies.
hey,
Mhm.
We
Rich,
got somebody else pinging in.
Rich,
Yes,
good.
who? Because
I
we
like-
got 15
John?
minutes left of the show, basically.
We got 5 minutes left.
We have 2 minutes left. Who is it? Who's in here? All right, now who is it? Who's in the
It'll
studio?
dawn on us shortly.
Whoa! She waited to the last 2 minutes of this show, but
Hey.
it's the dawn of not so much of a new era, but a dawn of new Star Wars Legos. What's up, Dawn? Good to
Hey,
see
Joe.
Not much.
Yeah.
you. Good to see you. You look wonderful, Dawn.
I just figured out from now on out, I won't forget to do that little almost the end of the show thing because I just wait for Dawn to show up. And that'll be
Yeah, Dawn. Woo! We love you, Dawn. Dawn, we
I
love
am
you.
right
we really
now
do. I
downloading-
love
I
your,
know. It's
your Lego references, your Star Wars references.
Oh
We can talk
yes,
about it
yes,
all day
yes.
long.
Chris is right.
Oh, Tron had Oh, Sheridan and is it Londo or
Bruce
Lando?
Bottleightner and what was his name? Played Londo.
Oh, that's right. And by the way, Bruce Boxleitner is a heck of an actor.
Yes.
Heck
Oh
of an
yeah.
actor. And I've met him
Yeah.
in person, Rich. I've met Bruce Boxleitner in person. I was wearing my Tron Legacy shirt that day, so I was very happy. Yeah, it was, and we got a picture together,
I'm willing to bet he's on Bill's friends list. So
Is he?
Peter Jurassic. How can I forget that?
Peter Jurassic, yes.
Is he on Bill's friends list? Really?
They've got parks named after him.
Really? Wow. Okay. Because I like Bruce.
Right.
Can we get Bruce Boxleitner on this show? Because that'd be really cool.
Get on that, Ryan. Get on that.
We should. Because I like Bruce Boxleitner. I like the guy.
What is?
I met him once at a convention. He was a nice guy.
Oh yeah.
He is. He's got a long historic career too. So lots to talk about on that one. Any new Legos for you, Dawn, or no?
I don't think
Not so
so.
much. Not so much.
Not
All right,
mine. They're my boyfriends. So.
All right. Well, at least I told you the news earlier that I got some autographs from the suit actor of Darth Vader from Rogue One, Spencer Wilding, signed some stuff for me. So that's coming in the mail. I'm excited. Yeah, he signed a Darth Vader 8x10, and then he signed a Darth Vader Funko Pop. So yay! All the Darth Vader-ness that I can handle.
Go you. Go
All right,
you.
we gotta say goodnight, everybody.
Oh man, really? We just got Dawn and I just got here.
No kidding.
This was a great show, though, guys. It was a lot of fun. I love hanging out with you guys. You guys always give me more stuff to do, even though it's going to take forever to do it. But
All right.
Hey,
Say goodnight,
we're
everybody.
educational.
Good night.
good night, guys.
Good night,
We love you
everybody.
all.
Good night, everybody.
In case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, man.
I have slept the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand, and touched the face of God.
Did not get away with it. Fuck.
son of a gun. You thought I was going to say son of a bitch, didn't you?